And this morning, news of Trump winning. And how does that change the Australian property market? We're all guessing. Stay tuned. We're going to tell you our opinion.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Make DY great again. Make it great again, Klaus. What do you reckon?
I think DY's always been great. Yeah,
So
it's
is
a good
America.
slogan for sure. And it's won him the election again, which, who would have thought? I don't think anyone really out of people I've spoken to thought he'd win for a second time.
Wow. And he's handling it like a champion.
I loved his speech. He thanked all his kids. I remember he looked over at one point. He's like, "Did I get all of them?" There's quite a few he had to name. But yeah, no, I'm not happy or unhappy. I don't know a lot about American politics, but I do know that in our economy and the way things are, it makes sense for someone that's been in the business world so long, that might offer the American people stability that they need.
Yeah, you were saying that you seek comfort in him being a business person as well as as a leader. That's gonna help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Biden, no one could understand what he was saying. There was no confidence there at all with Biden. And I feel, yeah, with all the companies and corporations and things that he's achieved in his life, that would make me feel, as an American, probably a bit safe knowing that, yeah, he's going to crunch the numbers. He's going to, do all of the stuff that comes natural to him in his world.
And I love something they said, that it was more of a landslide win than they thought, because I think a lot of people just kept their opinions to themselves.
Yeah, and look, I think especially since so many celebrities were a Harris supporter and they all came out, Donald Trump certainly had his supporters, but when you got big names and big celebrities backing a particular person, and being that America is so, in that industry as well, I guess that would also make you want to keep your opinion a bit harsh if you're a Trump supporter. Although, do you have Elon Musk? He had Elon Musk, which is phenomenal.
Which is a highly intelligent, phenomenal human being. So that was weird. How is it going to affect property in Australia with residential rentals, with residential sales? How is it going to affect? I think that's the question on everyone's lips. What's been interesting is the stock market has had a nice little hike in the very short time. The US stock market, even the Australian stock market. Yeah, and how's that going to affect the property market in Australia?
Well, I hope that it will give investors, get the investors back. We need more rental stock. We need more investors. If the investor confidence is boosted, because sometimes we do follow suit with America and other countries, we look to see what they're doing, in their economy. If that brings back that confidence in the market, then hopefully we'll see more stock and there'll be more properties for everyone to rent, in my rental world. But with sales, I'm not, that's not my forte, but yeah, I think that confidence and getting inflation down everywhere around the world will, help that investor come back in with confidence.
It's interesting that one of the metrics that we've seen very, very early in America is it's put a pressure on inflation. Inflation's actually gone up in the very early hours of the election announcements that have been having received. I think people sort of forget, with interest rates, it's always they use interest rates to dampen our confidence, and they use interest rates to make us more confident. So I think in light of that, if there is a lot of confidence through our economy, through what's been happening, and look, I get we're a completely different country, we're completely standalone. I get that we shouldn't be followers and look, be on the boob of America or any other country, but that withstanding, I still think if there is confidence in our markets, in our equity markets, and there is confidence in equity in property, it's pretty hard not to have the property market stimulated in all aspects. And if that's been the case, the interest rate reduction that we're all banking on would be less likely if the property market takes a boom.
Yeah, they've been saying all this time that, they expect it at the end of the year, they expect it in May. Well, how would you know, really? And just going on the last couple of years where we had 12 or 13 interest rate rises, I wouldn't be trusting at all. As a homeowner, I don't I don't think that they are going to put a reduction or adjustment in just yet. And especially now with Christmas as well, everybody. It's a difficult one. I'm no analyst, but I do know that we are seeing a shortage of investors in property management, and that's what we need back for sure.
Well, I can tell you that if we put the election aside in America, have that same election in Australia, call that election a confidence election. Now, let's just play this game. And again, putting America aside and putting the political stands of what they all stand for, if you are in Australia not confident, that's not good for the markets, any markets. If you're confident as an Australian, that's always really positive for our markets. Too confident or not too confident, it swings in any direction. Now, putting the US election aside, if we did run a vote of Trump and Harris here, and if you found a lot of people here were Trump supporters, that makes you feel confident in this election. Like, I'm putting all the political stuff aside and saying it just gives you a boost. So anyone overnight who made that punt, call it a horse race, made the punt and won with they won with, you feel pretty good today.
100%. They were all saying there's no way he would have won, and then people are saying no, I stand by, like you said, my punt, and then it comes through. Wow, like honestly,
So
that'd make me go buy property right now.
Right. So that's my next thing. What are you going to do with that confidence? You won your little internal bet with yourself. I'm Trump, or you lost it with yourself. I'm Harris, and you lost it. What are you going to do with that confidence or that loss? That's the big question with the Australian markets. Are they going to be more confident in over the next quarter, and are we going to see those metrics playing out? It's a fact that we will see metrics play out, but we just don't know which were they Trumpers or were they Harrises?
Look, they'll make auctions great again, as you guys said, for sure.
How funny is that cat? How funny. Someone's clever.
That was genius. That was genius.
For anyone who doesn't know, on our social media, we had a cap sent in which says, make. I think I've got a photo of it here somewhere. Make here it is. Make auctions great again, and there it is. There, it's probably going to disappear.
So good.
That's bad, eh? That's bad. That was so bad.
Great.
So Cleo, your expert property management opinion behind these election announcements in America, completely different country, doesn't matter. But you think rentals and sales? What's your guess?
I think we'll get a boost. It's a boost that we need, and I think buyer confidence, investor confidence for the new year will be good. And I feel like that'll just trickle down into everywhere in all aspects of property. We have been very cautious. We've spent a whole year of cautious. We came out of COVID. We were cautious. We had a boost. We come back. I think we need to be on that, upward way next year, and even, by Christmas as well. But I do feel like there might be a bit of a rainbow maybe next year at the end of everything.
I'm up for that. I actually totally agree. I think it's going to be. I think if well, I don't know what the vote count was in Australia, but if there was a vote count in Australia and Australians did think this was a good idea, this whole Trump thing, then it has to be a positive thing for us, because I just think it's that shot in the arm, that boost of confidence that everyone was sort of on the fence, and I think it's going to make confident people jump up and get off the fence and do what they wanted to do. So and play it out, whether it's with property or stocks or business or however they play it out. I think it's going to give people that. Providing we're a country more so of Trump people, I think it's going to give that little bit of confidence. Even just teetering on the whole election thing for the last 4 months. $16 billion of money spent. Do you know how much mind matter was wasted? Do you know how much
Wow.
like it or not, your brain was wasted on this election in the last 4 months in some capacity. Everyone in Australia. So just having that bandwidth free, from that shit on the television, great.
100%. It's great. I bring back the block and the TV shows I like now.
Big time. Cleo, thank you very, very much. Congratulations to America for or commiserations. I reckon congratulations. I'm a Trump man, as you could probably tell. So yeah, have a good day, Cleo, and thank you. Anything else to say before
And
you
you
go?
too. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Make DY great again, I say. See
Make
you
it
later.
great again.
Bye.